Hi, everybody. It's Doc Sports, and we're back with Doc Sports Daily show every 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And we got the three amigos today. So we got no one extra today. And that's a good thing because it's not the biggest card today. So it's not like we're going to be talking about a million games because there's not a huge card in college basketball, NBA, or NHL. So, but we'll give you some free plays for you. We'll also take care of some housekeeping first. Don't forget, go to DocSports.com/free60 to get in on your free $60 account. So it's very simple. Go there every day. Go there to get as a new customer every day. If you're an existing customer, go to the grid every day. That's when you're going to check out what the BPAs are for today, as what we call them the big play alerts. And today we've got a big play for August Young in the NBA, his game of the year. So make sure you check it out. Just $30 per sport per day. So make sure you check out any capper you like underneath that. And you can use the free 60 as well to get in on, like, say, August Young play. It's not like you can use it for whatever you like. It's good anywhere on the site. Okay. Now, we also got some new things to take care of. We got make sure you hit that like and subscribe. But we've got, while you're hitting that subscribe button, click join, and you can either we've had the premium for Indian Cowboy for a couple years now, so you can check that out. I know we got a ton of members in there. It's just $19.99. You'll get a couple plays every day, and then a couple live shows exclusive to premium members. Now we have an additional premium plus that I'm going to be involved in, and all the experts actually are going to be involved in. We're going to get 3 of our Doc Sports expert plays every day. Now, you're not getting the game of the years and that kind of stuff, but you're going to get good, solid plays. And you're going to get it in a video from me right now until we find a host for that every day between 12 and 12:30. That will be posted with 3 expert plays directly from our experts. And that's just an extra $30 on top of the $19.99. So it's not $49.99 plus the $19.99. It's $30. So it's $1 a day. Make sure you get in on it. Click the link in the description. I'll take you right to it. I know if you're on your phone and you go to it, try to join, it's a little more expensive because they charge that Apple fee. They actually include it. That's a heck of a business. They just tack it on. So, but if you click the link in the description, it'll take you off of the app and we'll let you buy it. All right. So, guys, how did our weekend go? Nick, why don't you kick us off? And what do you got for today as far as best plays?
Yeah, the weekend went really well. Full all-sports sweep on Saturday, and then I hit my 7-unit Saturday with Indiana. That was a blowout win over Washington. And then yesterday on Sunday, we had Memphis. They came back late in that second half, and they got the job done against UAB. So back-to-back 7-unit winners. We are now in my last 61 college basketball selections. We are 41-20 for over $9,000 in profit. We got conference tournament play starting up, and we're rolling into March Madness. So make sure to get on something long term. Even if it's a month, we're going to have a massive slate here coming up in college basketball. I don't have anything today. We are passing since we hit back-to-back days. Lower volume card here. I do have an NHL play, and then also I have an NBA 3-unit play. Lower volume here, but we're going to get it kicked up on the week. We're locked and loaded here for March Madness, Craig.
All right. I also have a smaller card today. I have just 3 plays. I have 1 5-unit play in the NHL. We have been hot, 14-5 run going back 45 days. I'm not like Nick. That is, I would call myself like I can just name off every player, but I'm very selective in the NHL. I just pick my chances. It's been very successful for me profit-wise. But today I do have a 5-unit play, 2 smaller plays in hoops. Griffin, what do you have today?
Yeah, Craig. So I'm currently 7-2 in my last 9 college hoops plays. Tonight, I have a 7-unit best bet. My top selection rolling right off. Thank God it's Monday. That play goes off at 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight. I went 1-1-1 on Saturday in college hoops. And then on Sunday, I ended up having just 1 selection. I had Cornell last night or yesterday. Ended up pounding Princeton 100 to like 72. So coming off a 4-unit winner. When it comes to hockey, I'm currently, I want to say 24-14 in my last 38 selections on about a $3,000 run. NBA on a $7,000 run, 65, something around those lines, hitting 62% in my last 50 cards. Today, I have a 4-unit best bet as well on the NBA side of things. But my big play, my cojones, is laid down on the college basketball hardwood tonight, Craig. That goes off at 7 p.m. Eastern time, 7-unit play.
So I think there's 3 big plays today. Indian Cowboy has a 7-unit NHL. You have a 7-unit play in college hoops, and then the 8-unit NBA play for August Young. So make sure you go to the Doc Sports members page, and you'll see it in the grid on who else what. Okay, let's talk NBA. Let's kick it off. I think it's a smallish card in the NBA. Some teams on different situations because a bunch of teams in back-to-back. So this is the time of year where you have to pay attention.
Yeah.
First of all, injuries, also situational plays, and I always say revenge spots. Now where almost everybody has played everybody once in the NBA. So a lot of times, especially the teams that are in the West and East, they play each other twice. So you got to be careful on what you're doing here and make sure you're situationally looking at these games. Nick, since you're in the middle today, how about you, Monkey in the middle, start us off in the NBA?
Yeah, let's do it. Griffin and I were already banging heads on this play. He's on the other side, but let's look at Portland Trailblazers and the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers -3 coming into this one, total sitting at 229.5. Both of these teams, though, they have 11 wins on the road and at home. Portland Trailblazers, they're 11-20 on the road, while the 76ers are 11-20 at home. 5-5 are these Portland Trailblazers in their last 10 games. The 76ers, on the other hand, they're 1-9, but yet they're laying 3 points here. Could it be a trap? Yes. But I like this Portland Trailblazers team and the way they rebound offensively. They get second chances, especially without Embiid here in the paint. I like this Portland Trailblazers to be all over these rebounds and second chances here. You're giving me plus points here on the road with the Portland Trailblazers with the Philadelphia 76ers or -3. Give me the Portland Trailblazers +3 over the Philadelphia 76ers in tonight's game.
I smell a head-to-head bet here, Nick.
I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's wager.
True, huh? We'll recap back on this tomorrow. Give me the other side on this. I'll lay the 3 points with Philly. I got $100 on it in my pocket right now. I will wager that against you right now, and we will cap this off tomorrow.
You know what? I don't even need the points. Give me them on the money line.
Take the bet.
I heard it. I heard the bet is made. The bet is made. I actually think Blazers too. Not a huge play.
Good. I'll wager against both of you. Lay them down, boys.
To me, here's the key in this game. This is a big revenge spot too. They crushed them in Portland. That was like, I think it was December 29th or 30th. So it was right at the end of the year. This was before Portland really started to play well. Since the new year, look at the numbers. Portland defense is in the top 5 in all the categories. Just like these young kids that were like running up and down started to be like, you know what? We got to play defense too. And what's their coach? Chauncey Billups, big, like we remember how he played. He's kind of starting, like these guys are starting to play like he did, where a little bit of a swagger. I think this Portland team, obviously, they're not making the playoffs this year, but this is one of those teams, like you start building from here on out till next year. And you start, because in the Western Conference, you just can't get behind the 8 ball. I mean, we've seen look at what Phoenix has done. So good play there, Nick. Griffin, you're on the wrong side. Griffin, show us what you like for the NBA tonight.
Yeah, Craig, and you want to talk about laying the pipe down? We're doing it right here. We've got Atlanta Hawks at Memphis Grizzlies. Currently, Grizzlies laying 9.5 points. We have a total sitting at 253.5. Atlanta and Memphis both coming into this game with 2 to 3 days of rest each. Atlanta, they are currently 8th in offensive points per game in the NBA and 2nd in pace of play. Memphis, 1st in offensive points per game and 1st of pace of play. This matchup is going to be a complete shootout in my eyes, and nobody has the balls to take this over 253.5, as this is one of the highest totals I have seen all season long, and that is exactly why I'm punching this ticket. Give me the over 253.5 with the Atlanta Hawks and the Memphis Grizzlies in tonight's matchup, Craig. Absolutely. Lay the pipe down, baby. This game's going over. Let's do it.
Lay the wood.
I don't know if you could, you should be a prop. How many defensive stops do they get in a row? Because I bet you there won't be a whole lot of scoreless possessions. Like you won't probably get 3 in a row on either team. I always say, I remember a college coach was like, hey, let's get 3 stops in a row. In the NBA, these 2 teams are probably like, let's get 8 stops in a row because these are not good defensive teams. And it doesn't make sense for Memphis because they've got some ridiculous athletes. It's but they just play so fast that it's like, oh, we'll just outscore them. So I like that play. I always say when I see really high totals in the NHL, like every once in a while you'll see a 7, or you see a really low total. Like I want to go they're begging you to take the under in this matchup. I want to go against what they're begging. So I like that play. I don't know if I have the cojones to put on 252, but I do think they win. So all right, I like a little free play action in the Pistons Jazz game. Like this is a overreaction. The Pistons are 8-2 against the spread, so they're kind of like the darling of bettors right now. It's like, oh, this team is so good, and they are playing very good basketball. But they've only had 2 point spreads of 10. When they're favored by 10 in the last 10 games, and they're 1-1 in those spots. It's like they're just not like a team that you want to lay. This isn't Oklahoma City Thunder that can play terrible like they did yesterday and all of a sudden still win by double digits. This is not a team that can afford a quarter like that, especially against a Utah Jazz team. I know they're in a back-to-back spot, but it's a team that like they could score points. Like the Jazz are like a good over team if you like overplays. Like I'm always like looking at the Jazz team, especially who's playing because it seems like they always have guys out. But I think the Jazz score big again tonight. And in big high-scoring games, I don't like I just think this is like a single, I think the Pistons probably dominate, win by 8 or 9 points. So me in the Utah Jazz, small play, plus 10.5. Now, I have a question for you, Nick, because, I mean, like there's a couple games here that I have big questions on. One, I'll hopefully you don't have a premium play on this. If you do, Griffin can take it. But the Warriors at the Hornets, Jimmy Butler set out the last time, and they got beat at Philly. That was a just like disappointing performance. But they've been playing really well. Charlotte has been an absolute dumpster fire. It sounds like Jimmy Butler's back tonight. It's just like it almost seems too easy, the 12.5 points.
I would lay the wood with the Warriors here. It's a bounce back spot. I've seen this Hornets team, and they just can't put it together. You got Bridges there, and you got Ball.
Unless they're playing the Bulls.
What's that?
Unless they're playing the Bulls.
Yeah, that's PTSD on that. PTSD. Let's not bring that one back up. But this Hornets team, I mean, they're falling apart here, especially if Ball and Bridges do not play well together. I would definitely take the Warriors. I would lay the points here. I think Curry and Jimmy Butler have a bounce-back game here in Charlotte. It's a must-win kind of game for them, and I think they absolutely blow them out of the water. So I would lay the points here with the Warriors over the Hornets, Craig.
One note for people that don't know, this is where the home for Steph Curry. So anytime he goes there, he always wants to show out a little bit. Also, Davidson is not very far away from the arena as well. So I think he'll have lots of support as he does always on the road. I mean, that 52 or 56 what he had on the road against Orlando. I mean,
54, yeah.
They were going MVP on the road. That's just like the Warriors always have big crowds on the road, especially Steph Curry. He's at home. I like him as well. Griffin. All right. So this Wizards team, I know you've actually made some money on this Wizards team.
Absolutely.
But like they're a big dog here tonight, Heat team that I just can't believe the Heat against anybody are 8.5 point favorite. Is this like a little sneaky play on the Wizards maybe tonight?
Well, Craig, I have a premium selection on this one, but I do want to talk, if you don't mind, about this Houston Rockets OKC Thunder.
Okay, yeah.
Let's jump into this one. So Houston's rolling into OKC to play the Thunder. Thunder are laying 9.5 points, total sitting at 228.5. This Houston team, the first half of this season, I mean, they went balls deep. This team played absolute incredible basketball, and nobody could really wrap their head around. Is this team just playing over their RSI where they're actually not as good as they are and they're just playing way above that expectation? Well, now that we're in the second half of the season, this team has cooled off tremendously, and I believe they are overrated. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. They're coming off a loss. And OKC, they have been a letdown as of late when it comes to against the spread, but this team is 25-4 at home. They're currently rocking a 3-game winning streak, and they're looking to break it open in the West. I mean, they're looking to seal the deal and really start spiraling to the upside. I believe tonight they're going to expose Houston. Houston is getting 9.5 points in this game. And any nonchalant, sharp, we'll call it a public better for sake. Any public better who looks at the records of these two teams and they look at how Houston's been all season long and they're nearly getting double digits in this game, that's an immediate trap incentive in my eyes. I'm laying the points here with OKC. I think they are going to double-digit throttle this overrated Houston team and expose them in tonight's matchup, Craig.
Put in the comments what you like, by the way. I see some people adding in. If you have opinions on these games or you like other games, just put them in the comments. We'll show them on the screen. If it's questions you have, put them in in the comments as well. Like I like this Rockets team a little bit tonight. And the reason why I thought they might have a chance, and it's not like a big play for me, but it was one of those, like the Thunder played terrible the first half. It's like they kind of were just like, hey, we can just turn it on. And they did. In the second half, they turned it on. The line, I think, was 13.5, and I think they won by 14. So it was really close as far as the spread last night. But, I mean, they allowed, 16 three-point makes in the first half to the Spurs.
Yeah. Like
you got to defend the three-point line. That's the key in the NBA right now. Like, if you can't defend the three-point line, you leave guys wide open. In the NBA, they're going to shoot 45 to 50%. So I think they have to play a little better tonight. It is a back-to-back spot, so I will say this is the one chance Houston has. Because if these guys play full rest, Like the Thunder are going to win, especially at home, probably 95% of the time. The Thunder are just that good. I mean, people are not giving them enough credit. Like their numbers are not even close. Like they're the best defensive team, and they're like second best offensive team, like as far as efficiency is concerned. So it's a team that the only way I want to play against these guys is when I'm getting double digits, 10, 11, 12 points. Because if it's 6 or 7 against independent NBA, you almost have to take the Thunder right now. Okay, let's move to college hoops. Not a big card, but I don't want to on Friday, we didn't have that much time for the NHL. I want to leave a little time because I do think there's a couple games in the NHL that we like. But Griffin, why don't you kick us? Oh no, Nick, you kick us off again. You're in the middle still, so let's kick us off with the free college play for tonight in this card. That hey, and by the way, there's some conferences already wrapped up. We have teams that are going to be starting their conference tournaments this week. So if you think there's not that big a card, that's probably why, because some of them are going to be starting midweek here.
Let's look to the ACC. We got Wake Forest and Duke. Duke right now minus 20.5. The total sitting at 143. Duke at home 16-0. They're 9-1 in the last 10 games on a 6-game winning streak. While Wake Forest on the road, they're 1 game above 500 here, 6-5 on the season. They just got a win over Notre Dame in their last game. Wake Forest, they average about 71 points per game, while this Duke offense averages 83 points per game. We already know that Duke is one of the best in the countries. And I'm not saying that Wake Forest is going to win this game, go into Cameron and win outright here, but you're giving me 20.5 points with Wake Forest. I understand that Duke has been blowing out teams here as of late, but this is an ACC matchup. Wake Forest is a good enough team to cover this game. Give me Wake Forest plus 20.5 over Duke tonight. I understand that Duke plays their best basketball in Cameron, and you got Cooper Flagg here. He's a threat to look out for, but this number is way too high. I would take the points with Wake Forest plus 20.5 tonight.
I'm in agreement.
A bubble team, Wake Forest. Like it's one of those games that Wake Forest probably not going to win. But as far as like the eye test, they always say they got to keep this close. The first matchup was close. I think it was like, what was it, 65? It was close, 4, 5, 6 points. Like they need that again tonight, just so they can say, hey, look, we at our best day, we can beat teams or stay with teams. Otherwise, they get beat by 30 points here. I don't think they're going to make. They might have to win the ACC tournament to get in. The ACC has been very weak this year. And I will say, I got a question for you, Nick, before I let you go. And we moved to Nick on a free play. They're averaging 98 points, Duke, the last 5 games. 98. How many points can they allow tonight and still cover since you're a Wake Forest backer?
I would say 85, around 85, 86. I think that Wake Forest has to, they have to shoot well from the perimeter, and they know this. They know that Duke's been blowing out teams, so offensively, they got to shoot the ball really well tonight. I'm saying maybe a 47% chance from the field goal, something like that. You got to cook it, but I would say no more than 85 points for this Duke team. They got to bring the defense, and they got to lock down Cooper Flagg here tonight, Craig.
Can you imagine, like, you go in, you're coaching, like, hey, we're going to hold them to under 85 points. Like, that's the game plan.
The team game plan.
Because we got to cover. We need to cover. So, like, hey, let's go. All right. College basketball free play, Nick or Griffin, what do you like today?
I'll jump into that. Jen, if it's anything 5.5, jump on that. I like Houston laying the points on a live bet. Absolutely great play. But let's jump into this matchup. We got UCLA at Northwestern. Northwestern's laying 3.5 points. We have a total sitting at 131.5. UCLA coming off a very tough beat to Purdue in their most recent matchup. But you have to remember, this team is still in the Midwest, so that jet lag is no longer valid. Northwestern, they're on a 3-game winning streak, and they just thrashed Iowa, so that's also going to grab the public's attention in this matchup. UCLA coming off a pissed-off loss. They're smelling vengeance in tonight's matchup. I believe UCLA comes in. This team's a lot better than people think. Despite they have a very solid record, but they play very good basketball. And the biggest take for this team is always because of the fact they have to travel so far. Well, they've stayed home. They've been in the Midwest since their most recent matchup on Friday against Purdue. So there's no jet lag, as I mentioned. Northwestern, they're a very solid team. They play good at home, but just 3.5 points, that's just not enough for me. The line against Purdue was 5.5. Purdue's 12-2 at home and a whole lot better team than Northwestern this season. Give me the UCLA Bruins here, plus 3.5, even though I think they're going to win this game outright. I like the insurance here covering this game by a bucket. So give me the Bruins in this matchup, Craig, with the points.
make sure if you get in on the premium, put that on the bottom of the screen here, bottom third here. This UCLA and Northwestern was one of the 3 plays that were given out. So we've got a 2-unit play on that. So you can log in. The 3 games we covered was the Blazers, Sixers, the Sabres, Canadians, and the UCLA Northwestern. So if you
Where
get in,
were you at on the UCLA game, Craig?
I can't say. You got to get in.
I got you.
$49.99. So it's 3 docs experts. These are not my plays, by the way. Usually these are, we'll randomly just pick different experts and give them. But these are actual unit plays. So make sure you log in. $49.99. So that you'll get the Indian Cowboy plays every day and three expert plays every day if you get in on the Premium Plus. Make sure you take advantage of it. Okay. I like a little free play. That's late game. Someone asked about it. Kansas, Houston. I mean, can you imagine like a healthy Kansas team, say 3 years ago before Houston and we expanded the Big 12 and it was when they were in their domination of like a 15-year span, 9.5 points on the road. That tells you what people, their perception of Kansas is not the dominant team in the Big 12. The dominant team is Houston. For the second straight year, they've won the Big 12 regular season championship. I think this is a statement game for Houston. She made a good point. I forget who it was, made a good point. Ask about the live bet. I wouldn't play that 9.5. That is a very good play. So I was thinking about first half because you can get it first half like -5, 5.5. I like Houston first half. But I also wouldn't talk anybody off that if you just wait and hopefully, because Houston has had a bad habit of getting off to slow starts in the last couple of weeks. So all of a sudden they're down, 10-3, 10-4, and all of a sudden now instead of 9.5, you get this at 6, 5.5 to 6. I like that one. So I'm taking Houston in the live bet there. Fading Houston rest of the I mean Houston is like you could fade them as far as straight up or against the spread because they're having to lay big numbers now, and it is a defensive minded team. Now their offense is better than it was I think the last few years, and I think that's why they have a real shot to win it this year because they've improved from the 3-point line. But yeah, I think it's more of a perception play on Kansas too. You know what I mean, guys? It's Bill Self has got to be like, I cannot believe we are this big underdog. And I'm sure they're going to be preaching it up. All right, let's talk NHL so we don't miss out, and then we can always circle back if we have any extra time. I know Griffin doesn't have anything in NHL, so Nick, give us a free play in NHL, and I have a little free play as well.
Yeah, let's do it. We got the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens here. The total sitting at 6.5. Both of these teams, they just played each other on Saturday. Montreal got the best of them in Buffalo there as they won 4-2 in that game. The Canadiens are on a 4-game winning streak coming into this one, while the Buffalo Sabres are on a 2-game losing streak here. This is a strictly revenge spot for the Buffalo Sabres as both of these teams just played each other. The line on the total is 6.5. So we know that there's going to be goals scored here. I think the Buffalo Sabres offense comes to play in this one tonight against the Canadiens, who they're very familiar with as they played them on Saturday. So I would take this Buffalo Sabres on the money line over the Montreal Canadiens here. Craig?
All right, I got a question, but I'm going to give out a free play first. To me, I think there's a little trap for your Blackhawks. I think they might be live underdogs tonight. I'm taking them +1.5. This is a LA team that against the spread this year when they've had to lay the points, they're just 15-18, so they're not profitable. And a lot of times you're having to lay juice on that as well. This is a good spot, I think, for Chicago. And, I mean, they might not win outright, but they don't have to. Like most games in the NHL end at 1 goal. Like that's even including the ones that end up with empty netters at the very end. So, I don't know. I just think Chicago's a live dog here. LA's not great on the they're not that good of a team that they need to be laying this kind of number.
They're 1-6 right now, and their last 7 road games are the Kings. So I would agree with you here, Craig. I love the Chicago Blackhawks. They got 11 wins at home on the season, and they get that first goal, and you're already sitting at +2.5. So that's good odds right there. I would take the Chicago Blackhawks +1.5 as well tonight, Craig.
All right, little question. Game of the night. I hope it's not your premium play. Tampa Bay and Florida in the NHL here. I mean, both of these teams have really put things together the last, 6, 7, 8 games, both on nice winning streaks here. This is just another regular season game, but, these are rivals. This isn't just another regular season game. This is a statement game. Any lean or opinion on this one?
I'll give a lean here. I do have a premium. Griff, you want to take this one since I have a premium play? I can give it out.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I got this one.
Okay.
Tampa Bay rolling into Florida. Florida's at home in this matchup. They're 19-10 at home this season. The Lightning, on the other hand, they are absolutely stout at home. But on the road, not so much. Just one game above 500 hockey. The last time these two teams played each other, Tampa Bay lit them up in a 4-0 final. This is a pure revenge spot in my eyes. The current line is at -155, which also tells me usually when you look at lines and you see a -150, 155, it's usually a parlay chopper. It's usually in that 2-team, 3-team parlay just to juice it up a little bit. In this spot right now, considering the way that both of these two teams are playing, with this Tampa Bay Lightning currently sitting on an 8-game winning streak, Florida, on the other hand, 3-game winning streak, give me the Panthers in this matchup to win this game outright. I know it's a juicy line, but there's no value going anywhere else. You don't want to lay the puck line against a team who's won 8 consecutive matchups. You want the team that's got home ice advantage. The other team, on the other hand, not playing good on the road. Both of these teams can score goals, and both of these teams are stout on the defensive side. So in this one, Craig, give me the Panthers here on the money line and lay the juice. And I know we hate talking parlays, everybody. Me and Nick love parlays. Craig gets some fun in there. Craig will throw some juice in there.
Don't say that. I like parlays.
Yeah, Craig's in there with us on the parlay chops too. So in this matchup, it's not a great individual bet. I'm not saying go put a dime on this game and make half of your money on it, 600, 700 bucks on it. But this is a game to where if you want action on it, play the Panthers, put them on a money line, and put them in a 2-teamer with a team that you really do like. But my play in this one, Craig, would be taking the Panthers on this one. Didn't mean to leave you out, brother. You know I love you, Craig.
No, you did say, you see this question, you did say you like UCLA -3, -3.5, right?
Me, yeah. No, yeah.
Okay.
Getting the points.
Jen just asked. So I kind of like the under in that Florida Tampa Bay game. You know, Tampa Bay's been playing. They're on this big under run. They're playing improved defense. I think whoever gets, I don't think either team gets to 3. I really thought it was going to be 2-1 type game. That's why I kind of was thinking under and Tampa Bay, because I kind of feel like that's at that number, +130, +135. It's kind of sweet on the parlay, same game parlay. But I think the stronger of those two plays for me would be the under. I just think it's going to be like playoff hockey. Like, you know, you don't like each other, send a message. These teams are probably potentially face off in the playoffs. And, you know, you always want to kind of leave that like lasting impression. So I think it's going to be a great game tonight. If you like hockey, this would be one game to watch. All right. I do have a little player prop that I kind of was thinking about tonight. And Steph Curry, I think somebody mentioned it in the comments. I think his over under tonight's like 26.5 points. I mean, you're talking about a guy that had 50-some over the weekend. I do like the Curry over tonight. I didn't have a premium player prop tonight because I just like I've been good at everything except the player props. Like the player props, I'm like 1 in 3 my last 4 days or last 4 plays. So I stayed off of it. I figured, you know, give it a little breather. But I do think he gets the over tonight in the NBA if people that like the player props, someone asked about it.
I like the assists on him tonight. I think Curry's kind of too obvious in this matchup, and I think he's going to be dishing it out tonight. So that's another one, maybe over points and assists.
I was going to say, do you like – I'm not a big just assist guy when I play player props. I just feel like especially really good players, because it's like sometimes the teams are just like, all right, he's going to get his and we're going to shut everybody else down. And then he goes for, like he did, 52, and then you're like, you know, he got the points and assists by just the points, and then you're screwing yourself. So I kind of like, if I like assist, I'll put points and assist or points, rebounds, and assists for people that player props. So don't forget Drummond under 9.5 rebounds. I don't know. He's getting a lot more minutes now, obviously, with Joel Embiid out. That's the one question there. So I kind of am staying off until I see kind of how many minutes they're going to be playing him.
I got a gem. Take Klay Thompson over his points tonight, as PJ Washington and Davis are out. Kyrie's going to have to go to somebody, and Klay Thompson will hit his over. So I believe it's at 16.5, I want to say. I would definitely take his over. It might be 16 or 12.5 I saw. But definitely take his points because Kyrie's going to be dishing it out to Klay Thompson.
There you go.
That's a hidden gem right there.
All right, so Docs Daily, every day, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget, we got that new Premium Plus. So you get the premium people. All you got to do is click subscribe, and then you can click join. The link is in the description to get in. All you got to do is go click that link. It's $19.99 for Indian Cowboys, or you get Indian Cowboy and the Premium Plus, so it's an extra $30, $49.99. If you're already in on Indian Cowboy, it's just that extra. You don't have to pay $49 on top of that. So make sure you go to the link to get in. You'll get 3 Docs expert plays today. The games are Blazers, Sixers, Sabres, Canadians, and UCLA Northwestern. So there's 3 premium plays. A 4-unit is included in there. So 4-unit and 2 2-unit plays. So make sure you check advantage of it. And so it's $1 a day if you're already getting the Indian Cowboys. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Don't forget, if you have a question even after the show, leave it in the comments section, and we'll try to get to it. We do check those throughout the day, so make sure you take advantage of it. We'll see you again tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I think possibly – I hate to throw it out there, but I'm going to throw it out there, put a little pressure on him. Tony George is going to be joining the show tomorrow. So we're going to have – we got the OG. He said he would do it tomorrow. So Tuesday is going to kind of be his day, we hope, moving forward. So make sure you join us tomorrow. It'll be us 3 plus Tony George. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow. I hope all your bets are winning ones.